Well, top of the morning to you. You reached Tasmania Reactions channel. Like, subscribe, comment. Gonna try a little something different today. I'm gonna try to go back to music. As you know, I told you I'm a karaoke hoe. I'm gonna try to see if we get around this copyright. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with the song and be talking about it. If I get copywritten, I'll just go ahead and cut the first part of this video. But we're going to do this song called Maxed Out, and let's go ahead and get into it so that way, like I said, if it does get copywritten, I'll cut it out, and we'll go ahead and do the rest of the video because I'll go through the lyrics. I am going to stop in between, though, and just talk about it real quick, and then sing it all, and then come back. All right, here we go. Then do my best, okay? So comment, make fun of me, do what you want, all right? Like I said, I never said I was professional. However, I will add a little something to that here in a little bit, though. Fancy for a man down the road. Hell, my hands are getting cold. This winter's really got a grip on me. I'm getting tired of this town, but I ain't got no money to make any ground. Another lonely night down at the bar. So let's stop there, right? So, I mean, talking about, fancy for a man down the road. Man, my hands are getting kind of cold. Definitely something of, doing the best that he can. Definitely he's getting hit pretty hard. Again, talking about money. And then, money getting tough. He's getting tired of town, but ain't got no money to make any ground. Know how that feels. And another lonely night at the bar. Good country theme. We'll keep going. In it fights and I'm falling hard. Maxed out one more credit card. What's this life worth living for? I'm going to jail, I can't pay my bill. Jack and Coke won't let me think for myself. Should've never reached for that bottle on the shelf. Should've never reached for that bottle on the shelf. Alright, so, once again, falling hard, and the song's called Maxed Out, so obviously maxed out one more credit card, again, struggling, and, man, it's another hard line, man. What's this life worth living for? Yeah, that's tough, man. He looks like he's getting hit hard, he's maxing out. Sometimes you wake up thinking, especially the way things been going, pandemic, a lot of people lost a lot of stuff. When I'm getting this is like a smaller town type feel. And then, obviously, he's getting in fights, obviously, so now he's going to jail. He can't pay his bail. Jack and Coke won't let me think for myself. Should have never reached for that bottle on the shelf. Obviously, man, Jack and Coke, bottle, liquor, I was, I don't want to talk too much because if I need to cut this off. Okay, so I'll keep going. Here we go. Moon started all, Lord, she's praying for my downfall. Hoping I'll never make it out of this town. She won't leave me alone, most even all I do is sit at home. Think about the girl I done right or wrong. She's got my heart tied in a knot. Will I make it out? No, probably not. All I've got left to do is sit here and drink. Another lonely night down at the bar. All right, so here we go. Now, not only is he having that issue, all of a sudden, I guess I stopped at the wrong time, but it starts with she's the reason. She's the reason I started it all. What does that mean, though? That's the reason I started it all. Lord, she's praying on my downfall. Obviously, not the best person in the world. Hoping I'll never make it out of this town. She won't leave me alone. And then she won't leave me alone. I don't want to talk about, like I said, want to get into it after, because if I need to cut it out, I'll cut it out. Thinking about the girl I've done right or wrong. She's got my heart twisted in a knot, or tied up in a knot. Will I make it out? No, probably not. See, that's where I'm getting the feel that it's a country town. All I'll have left to do is sit here and drink. Another lonely night here at the bar. And then it's going to repeat, but I'll just finish it up. Might as well. 'Cause I'm getting in fights and I'm falling hard. Maxed out with one more credit card. What's this life worth living for? I'm going to jail, I can't pay my bail. Jack and Coke will let me think for myself. Should've never reached for that bottle on the shelf. Should've never reached for that bottle on the shelf. So that's the song, Maxed Out. It's pretty good. So if they end up kicking me off, let's see, what do we got here? Let's see. Let's try to get a different background so you don't. This one, no, this way.
I was in Texas recently. They had banned abortion, and the women were upset. Then a few weeks later, there was a school shooting, and the women were upset again. And I was like, well, are we killing kids or not?
Bro, come on. Dude, oh my God. I know she's harsh, man, but oh my God, she's funny. Oh, man, she's a breath of fresh air as far as I'm concerned. Some comedians, just stop worrying about stuff and just tell jokes. So, all right, so we have, all right, so let's start in the beginning of this, right? So it's, because I really want to get into this because it kind of, so I ended up listening to this on a road trip, as you can tell, probably like some country, but hey, I also like some NWA, some old school, type stuff like that, like, Too Short, not a big, Tupac or Biggie, all those guys just stole beats from the 70s, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I still like listening to them, but I also like listening to the original 70s stuff, but, I know a couple other people kind of did some samples and stuff like that, but DJ Quick, Too Short, stuff like that, definitely. And Digital Underground, get out of here. I know Tupac was started with them, but All Around the World, same song. That's a hell of a song. But let's go. So Fancy for a Man Down the Road. Hell, my hand's getting kind of cold. This winter's really got a grip on me. All right, so looks like he's struggling a little bit, saying, he's having a rough time about it. And I'm getting tired of this town, but I ain't got no money to make any ground. Another lonely night down at the bar. So, oh man, I mean, originally, you say I'm getting tired of this town. Normally when you say something like that, not really talking about a big town. So, what I was going to say was, brings me to think that it was a small town. You get a small town feel. My daughter, she played. Mainly, I've been to big towns, like I said, military based met guy and stuff like that. But a lot of places I were big towns, decent towns, and I've experienced some. I still I like to go, dig on Sturgis because I ride motorcycles, stuff like that. So, I've been to small towns, here and there. Just came back from Deadwood not too long ago. That's by Rapid City, South Dakota. And then, Deadwood's right down the road. my daughter played softball and she was in a small town, and we went up there, and you get a certain feel. And I don't care what race you are out there, all mugs just rolled in there, male, female, don't matter. And I'll tell you what, that's true what they say, man. Drink hard, work hard, you play hard. Work hard, drink hard, play hard. And that's a lot what they do there, for sure. Kept every time we went down there, go down for there for a weekend, watch it, man. We started to get to know some of the people, invite us over, and nice as can be. And but man, like I said, play hard, drink hard, and they work hard, work their ass off. And it's kind of what I get a feel here, So then the chorus kind of goes, "'Cause I'm getting in fights and I'm falling hard, maxed out one more credit card. Is this life worth living for?" So this is kind of, oh man, like I said, I was driving from Deadwood, I think. Oh no, it might have been somewhere else. And man, this one popped up, and I was like, oh man. It's interesting because it comes up with what was reminds me of Richmond, north of Richmond, where it pops up and it says young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is just kick them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. But young men keep putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down, young men. So, I have a son, so it kind of gets me a little bit. And then here's this guy. He's a young kid. It's a country song, but down the same. But the way he sings it, there's got to be a little more to this, I feel. So he says he's getting in fights and he's falling hard and maxed out one more credit card. So there's another thing about money, because he said earlier that he couldn't, no money to make any ground. So there's money, money situation. And what's this life worth living for? I've had talks with my son, and even at his age, man, I know I've questioned, like, damn, what am I doing, man? This all I do is, but at the end of the day, now that I'm a little older, I mean, that's what you're gonna do. I mean, if we didn't have money, we'd have to be out hunting. So then what? Man, what are we doing? Oh, we just wake up, hunt, hopefully catch something. We don't catch something, the next day hunt. That's what we do, blah, 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 and the other, you got to do something. You got to do something to survive. But man, sometimes it is pretty tough, man, going out there. It's just so I'll get back to that because that's some stuff I want to talk about a little later. So, I'm going to jail. I can't pay my bail. Obviously, got in a fight, whatever. Now he's going to jail. Can't even pay his bail. Again, money. Jail. And then here we go. Alcohol. Jack and Coke won't let me think for myself. Should have never reached for that bottle on the shelf. I know I've made a few mistakes in my life. And that night, I don't know how many times I've said, dang, I shouldn't have grabbed that extra shot. Shouldn't have grabbed that bottle on the shelf. A lot of things. Man, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling what this kid's saying. I just don't like the what's this life worth living for, even though I get what he's saying. And then kind of starts making a little more sense, because then it pops in and she goes, she's the reason I started it all. She's the reason I started it all. What does that mean? Does that mean his job? Does that mean bettering himself? According to this, there's really nothing about his job. There really isn't anything about that. Now once again, we're hearing it from his point of view. So, and that's how it's written. So, she's the reason I started it all. Lord, she's praying on my downfall. Dang. Anybody out there have had a woman like that? Or man, not even woman, a spouse, because we're in the we're in the land of that we're living in now. Just this thing of spouse, You ever had somebody like that? Hoping on, Lord, she's praying on my downfall, hoping I'll never make it out of this town. That doesn't sound like she wants him to stay there because she wants to reconnect. It sounds she's just wants him to suffer and does not want to see this man succeed. Now, we don't know what he did. However, there's a little something in here that I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? All right. So then he goes, she won't leave me alone. Most evenings, all I do is sit at home. This is what kind of irked me and got me kind of like, damn, because, I got a couple of my boys, one in particular, she won't leave me alone. Most evenings, all I do is sit at home. So most evenings, all he does is sit at home. He probably grabs that bottle on the shelf and might have to go end up hanging out at the bar afterwards, right? But not only is she praying for his downfall, she won't even leave him alone. And this is what kills me right here. And this is probably some of the talk that I want to get to, and talk to the young man out there, and the man out there, to be honest with you. I don't know. Just share my thoughts. That's all, my reaction, if you will, because this is the Tez Mania reaction channel. Like, subscribe, comment. Think about, and it goes, most evenings all I do is sit at home. Think about the girl I've done right or wrong. So he's not even admitting that he did anything wrong, or I'm like, once again, we're listening from his side of the story, so we gotta go off. It's the writer, it's like the author. We gotta go off what he said. He's still worried and still thinking about her, whether he's done right or wrong by her. Where he's not thinking of any ill will to her right now. He's actually thinking about what he did and if he did right or wrong by her. Well, she is seriously praying on his downfall and hoping that he'll never make it out of this town, and she won't leave him alone. And I don't feel that it's in a good way, because she won't leave him alone. So then he says, she's got my heart's tied in a knot. Will I make it out? No, probably not. Looks, once again, goes back up to the money. He's trying to, I can't make any ground. I ain't got no money to make any ground. He's just probably making ends meet, probably just paying the rent, probably tried to do the best he could for this woman. And, maybe that, I mean, even in the small town where I was, where I went there so often in a short period of time, man, started to get to know some of the relationships. And there were some in there that were very similar to this, where it was like, God, man, I'm like, wait, you guys aren't together? Well, I don't know. What's today? Today's what, Saturday? Yeah, no, we're not together. We were last night, but no, we broke it off again. So, man, so I don't know if I should look into this so much, or is it just more of like a country? But no, I'm gonna look into it. I mean, it's pretty tough. So, yeah, it's and then he just goes through the whole thing, because I'm getting in fights and I'm falling hard, maxed out one more credit card. What's this life worth living for? I'm going to jail, can't pay my bail. Jack and Coke will let me think to myself, should have never reached for that bottle on the shelf. So it's interesting because he says, because I'm getting in fights and I'm falling hard, maxed out one more credit card. What's this life worth living for? Man, when I was kind of listening to that, I thought about some of the stuff I've been through in my life, and man, I think back to another song called "Hurt," that by 9 Inch Nails, originally by Trent Reznor. Johnny Cash, before he passed away, redid it, and he did a great job with it. However, Johnny Cash seemed like it was almost like the end of his life, and stuff that it's done really well. However, when I first heard it from Trent Reznor, I was a big 9 Inch Nails fan. I did get the idea that it was more of the drug, more of his substance abuse, illegal substance abuse. And however, I also felt because I wasn't, I drink, but never really got into anything else. But, it starts, I hurt myself today. And, I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. I know that I've been through relationships, and I know I've been through, a long relationship that I have, and I know for a fact that the way I took that is because I know I've done that before. When you just can't, and you're hurting, shit, I know I've gone out looking for trouble. I know I have, and I know I've gotten in fights, and I was falling hard. They hadn't maxed out a credit card yet, but I'll tell you what, that's what I start feeling on this, that he's out there doing that, and now he's going to jail, can't pay out bail. That might have been, that's what ends up happening if you get in a fight and you get busted. I know my younger years for sure, man, so that kind of caught me a little bit with that, and that's why I was going to do Hurt down the road somewhere down the way, do both of them, and because then when Johnny Cash did it, I actually heard it a little different. But man, the thing that got me, and this is what I kind of want to talk about, and I want you to understand, I'm not trying to be like Andrew Tate. Is that his name? Andrew Tate, be just a pig, or the I know the fat and fit, or whatever they called, fresh and fit or something like that. You got guys out there that are like that, whatever. I listen to a lot, research here and there, listening to Kevin Samuel, Jordan Peterson. I listen to, I've seen those fresh and fit guys. I've seen, Andrew Tate and all that stuff. And, a lot of it is just that I want to talk to you like I'm talking to my son per se, or one of my boys, that's struggling through something right here. And I want you guys to understand that the way I'm going to talk right now is I'm not putting females down. But what I'm doing is I'm going to be talking, and it might sound like I'm putting them down, but please understand, I'm not trying to be like an Andrew Tate or something to that effect. I'm just trying to be honest. There might be a couple of things I might say that sound mean, but I grew up with two sisters, and when they finally moved out of the house, I grew up with three female cousins, and they were pretty tough bitches. Grew up pretty much in the Chicano hood. The cousins was kind of the same thing, same area. So they had they had some badass best friends, and they also had just a lot of people that they knew that were within their friend area, or with their friend group, and especially when you grow up in a hood. Like I said, we grew up in the Chicano hood. When you grow up in a hood, when you have your best friend's your best friend. Like right now, my best buddy, he's still my best buddy. I may not talk to him for a few months, whatever. We've been passing a lot of stuff along, but he knows who he is. And I'll be right there for that kid anytime. All you gotta do is call me up. And we've been boys since I was 5 years old in the hood. Parents were best buddies. You know who you are. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I don't have many friends, and that's by choice, and I like it that way. I got a lot of people I know, a lot of people I hang out with, karaoke home, man. I hang out a lot of time. Got a lot of people don't like me. I'm fine with that. I don't give a shit. Matter of fact, oh my gosh, yeah, let's get into that one. I was always wondering why, I got argument one time, and the wife goes, well, we have something going on, and they want to invite you because there's limited availability, and you don't, a lot of people don't like you. And I was like, good, because you want somebody to be, you want somebody that, man. I don't, like I said, I don't like people anyway. But I'll tell you what, man, I don't want to be the guy that everybody likes. That I want to be the guy that everybody knows truth, and who I am. And if you don't like me, you don't like me. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be truthful. And that's just who I am. I don't give a shit. I look around, and let's just talk about relationship. I look around, And the relationships I've seen lasting, man, there's a couple of relationships that I know for a fact when I first met, I was like, man, that guy's kind of a pushover, I think. Then as I got to know him, got closer, and we're still friends to this day, no, he's kind of a dick, you know? And there's and that's why I actually like him. Shit. You know? That's because I'm a real guy. So I like somebody like that. I just don't like saying if everybody likes you, if I hear about somebody everybody likes you, you bullshitter, bro. Though you cannot be liked by everybody. All you are is somebody that goes along the way and does whatever and stays out of the way. Or you watch any of these. A matter of fact, we'll talk about it later. But you watch any of these little things out there. The guy that likes it, man, tell you most of the time, like what Big Brother we used to watch all the time. Most of the time, man, they want the person that did the best job, not the guy that was the most liked. Because then all he did was kiss people's ass. You don't even know who the guy really is. Because if everybody likes you, everybody's different. And so and then I thought and then when I got to know him a little more, I was just like, man, I don't know how his wife puts up with him because man, she just is like a pushover. So I think early in the relationship they hit it a lot better. But I'll tell you what, she's a bitch too. And I'll tell you what, that's probably why that's why they've been together for so long. Because he's who he is and she is who she is. She might have just hit it a little better, had a little more patience. But as you get a little older, all of a sudden you're like, shit, I ain't waiting until I get home. I'm going to tell you straight up here too. Shut the hell up. Which I don't have a problem with that. That's cool with me. But yeah, just like so interesting. I actually ran across in some video and I was like, damn, that's why I was so like, I thought it was a compliment, even though I think she was trying to put me down. Like, they don't like you. And I'm like, good, because I don't fucking like them. And it's good to know they don't like me. Because then clearly I'm getting my point across. But the people I do like, I like. And a lot of people I just put up with. But I'll tell you what, man, if I got something to say, I'm going to say it. And I hope they do the same thing. Shoot, I don't know what's going on over here. I guess it just dies. My bad. But see if I can get it up and running back here. So anyways, man, so yeah, he let's see where we're at here. Yeah, so you start talking about so let's go back to the song a little bit, man. Oh man. Yeah, it goes all the way through, and then and then the guy, and so then you have the female sitting here, and she's the reason I started it all. Lord, I've been praying on my downfall, hoping I'll never make it out of this town, and she won't leave me alone. Man, I'll tell you, I got some boys in a couple of situations, and I've had them. I'm old. Had a few situations where, hey, don't get me wrong, there's jerks out there. I have people that I know that are jerks, and when I say boys, I only have a handful of friends within maybe 3. So these are just guys that I actually know a little more. I guess I just call them associates. I guess and we talk or whatever. I see them at the bar or something to that effect, right? And knowing what's going on, and it's just like, bro, in the situation we got going on, it's so easy to report any type of DV type stuff. And I'm going to say that because I don't know what I could say on DV type stuff. And I'm like, so I'm looking at this and I start thinking of things that have happened the situations that have passed in my life. And I'm reading it. She won't leave me alone. Most evenings, all I do is stay at home. So now all this dude wants to do is stay at home because she won't leave him alone. What does she do? Why is she egging this on? Why? She's the reason it started it all, Lord. She's praying on my downfall, hoping he'll never make it out of this town. What is the anger? What is the control that's out there? So, man, so I get to, once again, trying to be clear. I'm not talking bad about women. I'm talking about, I'm talking to young men out here, men. You have to understand, this is how I feel. Women have never really dealt with any pressure in the beginning of their lives compared to men, okay? Men who, if they are born by a true alpha, the father, this is why nuclear family is so important. The father, from when, not only when that son was able to start learning whatever, as far as I remember when I was a kid, I was told you want a good woman. Your whole thing was to have a family. It never was, hey, go out and have fun, whatever. No, from any time I remember, it could be because of my Catholic upbringing, whatever, but it was ultimately about carrying on the family name, this, that, and the other. Is it a Chicano thing? Is it a Latino thing? Is it a Hispanic thing? Is it an Indian thing? Shit, I don't know. But from day one, I was told, as far as I can remember, do good in school because you need a good job if you want a good life. Okay, if you want, you've got to bring something to the table to get a good woman, and then she'll bring you good children and whatever. And so, as it's saying in the song here, is like, what's this life worth living for? Because at least how I'm reading it is, ever since I was told, I had pressure on me. I wasn't like, and once again, listen, I'm not going to keep saying it, but this is not me talking shit about female, because I can go through and see what I see about women. Because I'll tell you what, just side note, talk about middle school, high school, college, whole different thing for women. And that because I think women are ruthless and they fight a total different way. They fight like, you want it like what's that movie, Mean Girls? Women fight in art totally different, and they are brutal and nasty, and it's going to come back. That subject's going to come back to this, but as I'm talking to boys, women are ruthless and conniving. Sorry. Okay. So I'm saying, I'm going to say this stuff, but women, even now, maybe even more now, you could be whatever you want. When you're a little girl, you could be whatever you want. You want to be that. And I'm not saying that a woman can't be whatever they want, whatever. But once again, I'm not talking about women. So I'm not talking bad about them. I'm talking to, like I said, I'm talking to the men saying, look, women have always been taught they could be whatever they want. They could do whatever. Most boys that are raised by a good dad, he is teaching you what you need to do. And that is to have some type of worth besides just your looks, because that's not going to get it done. However, females, they could just get done on looks. I mean, how many billionaires, I can think of one right now, billionaires have married a waitress just because, and on it, the reason why he did is because she would sit and talk to him. They got to know each other. He got to know her. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but how many billionaire females have married a waiter? It doesn't happen. I mean, I'm sure it happened somewhere, whatever, maybe in a movie or something. But I mean, I'm being honest. So ultimately, I'm saying, you got all these women, they want to be this, they want to be, guys don't care. Guys don't care. They want a woman that's going to support them so that men can support the woman and they can support each other together. Plain and simple. We don't care. We don't care if you got a degree. We don't care if you're a doctor. We don't even care if you end up making more money and then you want to, you want me to take care of the family, blah, blah, blah. That's a little weird, but honestly, men don't care. But I'm telling you, women do. And again, I'm talking to boys out here. From day one, you gotta have worth. And I can tell you what too. Like, even people out there who have money, you've got to still bring something to the table. You're not gonna get billionaire Joe out there who's it just doesn't work. And that's how it literally is from the beginning. Then there's another side to it. Women, there's no consequences for women when they're young, or even ever to the point of where I'm actually trying to go now. When boys are out and about, I remember I was in the second grade when I got into my first fist fight, and it was a fist fight. I think I gave the dude a bloody nose or something. I don't know. Um, Second grade, I got in a fist fight because I ended up asking this girl to be my girlfriend. I always like females. So what can I say? And she was my girlfriend till 8th grade, whatever. But I remember I get in a fight with this dude Joseph, and we ended up becoming good friends. But and right after that too. But I got in a fight. But that's another thing. Not only if women are told they can be whatever they want when they're little and they're in their little whatever, then there's no consequences. And that's why, and I could shift into females. When they're older, females can totally they fight differently. They fight emotionally. They're ruthless. They do the mean girl type stuff and whatever. Men, on the other hand, shit, from second grade I was doing it. But there's always there's always that. And I'm not saying, hey, trust me, on the girl side, there could be there are some bad bitches out there. My sister's bad bitches, trust me. Those are Chicano hood, man. I mean, shit. That's how it rolled. Totally different. But I'm saying the majority and things like that. There's just no consequences, and they grow up all that way through, and that's why, at least when they get a little older, they have they use a different way of fighting. So, oh man, I'm going pretty long on this, but that also gets into why the FAFO guys understand that at an early age because they'll throw down. I also believe that's why one reason, and you can look it up, percentage wise, women relationships has a highest DV rate. It's because they don't know how to handle. They never had to deal with consequences overall. So they want to, or, I mean, I've been in situations where, I'm a guy and I get a little, whatever, and okay, calm down, babe. What's going on? Whatever. And I know not many guys out there has done it, but when a woman does it to a woman, it's on because finally, oh my gosh, somebody hit somebody, but they never dealt with that when they were younger. So that's why, at least this is what I believe. Once again, this is all from my point of view. Why percentage wise? Now, obviously, heterosexuals have the biggest because they're the biggest, but I'm saying percentage wise, per capita or whatever you want to say, that's what ends up happening. They end up being on the highest DV rate and all that stuff. And oh man, I go off of my true alpha. Because I said that at the beginning, and I need to explain what true alpha is. Trying to be quick about it. True alpha is not the alpha, or I'm the baddest mother. Is that a true alpha ensures that beta and the rest of the pack is taken care of. All right, like in my situation, like once again, I'm not saying I'm the best in the world, but I'm just using this scenario. 95% of the stuff that happens in my household is decided by my beta, by my wife. Total whatever. The only reason why I'm the beta is I'm going to be the one that opens the damn door if somebody knocks on the door. I put myself in between the bed, we go somewhere else, the door and the bed. Anything happens, anything rough, open a jar. I'm just saying, I'm the one that's going to be able to do that. But ultimately, and that's why it's bullcrap. Oh, men run whatever. Women run. They buy most of the stuff, this, that, and the other. Most men are like, oh, okay. But there's about 5% where I'm going to stand my ground. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Whatever. No, we're not. I'm standing my ground. Whatever. But that gets back to the thing, the saying, which I was going to say, happy wife, happy life, right? Well, that's pretty true. Although it's very complicated. That's why 95% of the 95% of the choices in the household is probably her choice. Many things, the colors, whatever. I might have to paint, but she's going to be the one that's going to do whatever. And then, then you got the little saying where it says, keep man's balls empty and their belly full. How simple is that? But even with that, you're kind of like, wow, look how simple. And I don't think it's a lie. You keep the balls empty and the stomach full, you're good to go. But happy life, happy wife, happy life. That's a broad way. How do you make somebody happy? How do you make the wife happy? People are all different. Even in that, it's extremely complicated. But that's what a true alpha does. A true alpha goes out and he takes care and does the stuff that needs to be done. Also, one big thing, and once again, not talking shit about females. I'm talking as if I was talking to a man, a young man, a boy. Women were made to have children. Men are not strong enough for that. Women are strong enough for that. Women are also, what I feel, men are also built to be those alphas, to have all that stress, to be able to suck. This is why the nuclear family is important to me, and I feel it's important. Now, don't get me wrong. Comment, do whatever you want. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Comment. Now, I understand women can do whatever they want, but once again, remember, I'm talking to a man right here. I understand that women, my sisters, cousins and all that, they had to do their stuff. Trust me, women got their shit. Like I said, I'm talking to the men out here right now. Not talking shit about females. But men have the ability to hold down the stress of the relationship. That is their job. Never, ever open up to a woman totally. They may ask for it. Don't do it. That's the one thing that you have. As soon as you open, I'm not saying you can't cry or something like, man, the more older I get, man, I get emotional. And, my daughter's last graduation, this, that, and the other, I get emotional, whatever. Or maybe I see something. Cry's not weakness. Cry, whatever. But I don't sit here and cry like a little baby or anything. But you've got to be able to hold that together. Especially in my situation, wife, 3 kids, whatever. She brought those kids in. That was what she was capable of do. I've got to do my duty. I've got to be the true alpha. And the true alpha is the one that takes on most of the burden. And I know the wife might be stressed and all that stuff, but you gotta hold your roles. And if you don't hold your roles, trust me, you ain't gonna be able to keep a long relationship. But because of that, you can't be, and there's a lot more I want to talk about, but there's already 45 minutes into it. You can't be the guy that's having a female sit here and she's won't leave you alone, and then you're still thinking about the girl, whether I've done what right or wrong. No, my man, you need to move on. She is ruthless. You need to move on. So I love this because I believe this is a lot of the stuff that's going on right now with the 20 to 30, 35-year-old males right now. It's tough to be, because you're not supposed to be masculine. You get in an argument and then all of a sudden you're trying to talk to her, trying to win her back, blah, 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 said and the other. Then all of a sudden, the law's getting involved because all of a sudden you have this Me Too, blah, blah, blah. I mean, dude, shit that I did when I was younger, trying to win my girl, the girl that I'm still with now, could have fallen into those areas, bringing her flowers to work. Oh my gosh. Oh, you do that now? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. He's really trying to reach out to me. But you can't even do that shit now. Because you do that stuff now, all of a sudden, you got a restraining order or whatever. What? I'm just trying to, what? I can't even send over Uber Eats? Because now I'm emotionally, and I get, but damn, man. So something like this, something like this song, dude, no, move on. Be an alpha. Be a man. Be a young man. Move on. Cut her off. Let her think whatever she wants. Shit, she might even come rolling back to you. What's the other saying? Um, if you love something, set it free. If you whatever it comes back, well, let's go with that one. Um, I mean, I think that's ridiculous, but I mean, you have. I mean, even if you're, I mean, like I said, maybe this is a small town type thing, whatever. But ultimately, it don't matter, man. You got to move on. You got to move on, and uh, I mean, you could still be a romantic out there. You don't have to be like I said, being an alpha is not being a jerk. An alpha is is a true alpha looking to be out there and take on the heavy burden of the relationships mentally and all that stuff, put the load on yourself. I got you. Hey, I got you. Let's go. Whatever. Kids end up being in a situation. Hey, I'm there for you. Boom. I'm leaving work. I'm here in the principal's office with you. What have? Oh, so I'm here in the emergency room with you. What you need? What you need? Whatever. Oh, the car broke down. Here, take my car. I'll Uber. I'll bicycle. That's what an alpha does. A true alpha. All of a sudden you got all this masculinity and whatever. You could still be masculine, but a true alpha takes care of their pack. And there ain't nothing than a true alpha having a true beta right there with them. And I'm telling you, you can't have two alphas. I've been seeing a situation where it switches to where a female, that whatever, and it's worked out too. But you got to have a true alpha. So once again, I'm not talking shit about females. I'm talking about men. I'm talking to men out there. And the song just kind of hit me that way. So, but man, I'm hitting about 45 minutes. So, man, let me get out of here. There's a lot more stuff I wanted to say. I'm sure there's another song out there I could kind of come up with. I think a lot of that stuff was just going to probably be stuff that's probably going to get me in trouble. So I think I'm going to keep it to myself. Lastly, as I said, and this is me talking to men here, as I said, women are strong enough to bring a child into the world. Men are strong enough to carry the burden of, and should be able to carry the burden of the relationship. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that you can't share things with it, but you need to carry the burden, take care of your pack, your family, right? But oh man, it also rolls into what was I going to say? Divorce. So, sorry. There's a meme out there. I'll end it with this one. There's a meme out there that says men and women marriage divorce rates about. No, don't get me wrong. They're going to be off a little bit here. About 49% men and women. Okay. Men and men marriage, their divorce rates are 29%. Women and women marriages, their divorce rate is like 79, in the high 70%. 70% of women relationships get a divorce. 49 for men and women, and 29 for men. Another example of how I believe, once again, this is me. I don't have any damn degree. It's just growing up with 2 sisters, 3 female cousins, having a couple daughters, having a son, and also having a great beta. That pretty much runs whatever I tells me whatever I'm supposed to do. Trust me. But if that right there doesn't say, at least this is how I took that statistic or that meme that was out, because I did research it and it's pretty close. Again, men can handle the burden of the relationship. We have been built for that since birth. Yeah, like he says, what's this life worth living for, or whatever. Or sometimes you're like, God, it's been on me the whole time. It has been on you the whole time because you had a good dad, and your dad taught you, and that's what you had to deal with. Talking to men here, and that's why I get 50-50 for men and women, but that's also because the other 50 is women. But the men Men and men are only at 30%. That's pretty awesome. Women and women are almost 80%. And that's because, or at least I feel it's because they're not ready to handle the burden of a relationship. Hence, because they weren't brought up that way. You don't know that a female is going to be married and one of them is going to have to be an alpha, because one of them has to be an alpha somewhere. You can't, maybe you can, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can, I'm sure you can, but I mean, someone's going to have to be, and someone's going to have to take the burden. If no one can take the burden, then who's going to lead? You've got to have roles. And a lot of times, I'm just saying, from what I'm seeing, that's what I'm saying. Females can't handle it. So I'm telling boys, men out there, look at that. And that's what you have to do. That's what you have to bring. Know your worth. Know your worth. Okay? And women, 80%. Also add in the extremely high percentage of those female couples having the highest DV percentage. Again, don't know how to handle stress. The stress of the relationship. It's out there. So with that, men, you need to understand that's what you need. Be there for them. Be the alpha. Be the true alpha. Don't be the guy that's sitting there wondering what I did right or wrong. Fine. It didn't work out. There's somebody else out there. There's somebody else out there. But if you're just moping around like that, you're going to catch the same thing that you're looking for, because you're looking down here. What's it saying? If you want to fly with the eagles, gotta get away from the pigeons, you know what I'm saying? All right, man. Well, I'm out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Man, like, subscribe, throw some things down there. Maybe I'll get kicked off. I don't know. But anyway, you put how great I sound. That was awesome. I don't know how it's gonna sound because I'm just no mic, no major mic, no nothing, whatever. So if it works out, man, I might start doing some do more songs like that, and then just go through them, and then hopefully I don't get copyrighted. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Hey, stay in school.